Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Robert Parrish, Chris Flaherty, BNEWS Weather with Peter Brown, Community Calendar with Maddie Shipka, and now that the Red Devils are back in school, we have Matt DiMarzio back with us with sports. Thank you for joining us. Monday marked the 16th anniversary of the attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City. September 11, 2001, who could forget that? Sunday morning, residents gathered on the town common for a ceremony to remember those that lost their lives that day, during which the last two artifacts of 9/11 were unveiled. BNews reporter Chris Flaherty was there and has this report.
Sunday morning, residents gathered on the town common for a ceremony to honor and remember those that lost their lives 16 years ago on September 11, 2001. Those in attendance ranged from local law enforcement to state officials. The ceremony was run by Selectman Bob Hogan.
This world is a better place because of all of those in New York City that day. This world is a better place, and this town is a better place because of the men and women who serve us every day.
During the ceremony, the last two artifacts from 9/11 were unveiled. Two 14-foot, 700-pound train rails that ran beneath the World Trade Center. These will rest permanently on the town common for all to see. Can you tell us a little about what it took to get the memorial here to Burlington?
It took a lot of calls and letters and an application, and then finally when we got approval, actually traveling out to New York City to get the two artifacts, which was an overwhelming day. It was the last day they were giving out artifacts. So because of that, this could have been one of the last new 9/11 memorials. A number of our firefighters had traveled down to down to New York City after 9/11 to help in the recovery, the search and recovery, and it's important to them. And I just thought, if we had the chance, it was incumbent upon me to get the two pieces and have that history here for everybody to always remember.
Ed McLean of the Burlington Fire Department also presented Selectman Hogan with a special token of appreciation.
It's the famous firefighters lifting the American flag, similar to the Iwo Jima flag raising. Very nice. It means a lot that I'll be able to keep this and wear this.
I had a chance to speak with many of the ceremony's keynote speakers and attendants.
We learned on that day of the resilience and the dedication of people who joined the professions behind me, the first responders, the fire and the police, who did march forward so that others could retreat to safety. And we owe so much to them. We owe so much to those who perished on that day. We owe so much to those who still suffer because of what they experienced on that day. And we owe so much to those who survived that day.
In your position as a public figure, can you speak how you've seen the world change since September 11th?
Well, it's changed in some physical ways that we've seen because security is tighter, but more significant to me is what didn't change, which is to say that we always were a resilient people. We always were a strong people. And the people who attacked us on 9/11, while they certainly affected lives directly, as far as the country, as far as our economy, and as far as our way of life, they weren't able to change that. We continued on as Americans, and here locally we continued on as Massachusetts residents, as we do.
In your career as an officer of the law, how has the world changed from your perspective since 9/11?
Well, they changed overnight in 9/11, and we can see it in our everyday lives because it's continuing to evolve, whether you're going to a sporting event where you get searched or security in a federal building and things of that nature. But if you look back, 9/11 is what kicked everything into action for the extra layers of security, the airports, bus stations, train stations. So it all started with 9/11. And I hope with this memorial here, we will remember not only the first responders, but the people that were just going to work that day to make a living. But I hope we also maybe take a second and remember to appreciate the little things in life and say, you know what, life is good. Those people on 9/11 don't have a chance to appreciate those little things.
It just helps us remember what has gone before, and to think about history in a way that will hopefully inform decisions that we make and the consequences of our actions as we move forward. And to also remember the people that were connected and the sacrifices that people make to keep us safe or to protect our democracy and to respond when we need them.
We shall never forget. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Burlington residents now have a new option to properly dispose of old and worn American flags. At Monday night's Board of Selectmen meeting, 3 veterans donated a flag drop box to the town that will be located at Town Hall. The box was donated through a joint effort between the Disabled American Veterans and the Disabled Limbless Veterans Organizations and the Disabled and Limbless Veterans President Don Marcelino and Disabled Americans Veterans Commander Edward Tedesco and former Disabled American Veterans Commander Andrew Giordano were the veterans who made the donation and were at the meeting to explain its use. Tedesco said it was not proper to throw away worn flags, but instead one should have them ceremonially burned. The box is a place where anyone can discard their old and worn flags with the knowledge that they will be properly taken care of. The trio said they would work with local Boy Scouts to collect the flags and perform a proper flag retirement on Flag Days. The members of the Board of Selectmen were thankful for the donation and also happy to hear that the Scouts would be involved in collecting the flags and the subsequent ceremony. In a split decision, the members of the Board of Selectmen voted against recommending that town meeting approve a proposal to create a bylaw review committee. The article was put forward by the ad hoc zoning bylaw review study committee that was formed by town meeting in September of 2016. It suggests a review committee be formed to review existing zoning bylaws and suggest possible changes to bring them up to date and in line with anticipated changes coming from the state level. At Monday night's meeting, members raised concern about how the study committee drafted the articles. Specifically, they said they thought more input from other departments and members of the business community should have been gathered before recommending the makeup of the review committee. Board Chairman Chris Hartling said he did not want to disparage the members of the study committee, but thought it should have had more professional influence included. In the end, Hartling and Selectmen Joe Morandi and Mike Runyon voted against recommending the article's passage. Selectmen Bob Hogan and Jimmy Tigas voted to support it. The 3 who voted against the article said they hope to eventually have a bylaw review committee formed in a way they could support. They all acknowledged it was an issue that needs to be addressed. The Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce held their annual event, The Taste of Burlington, a showcase of many of Burlington's great restaurants at the Burlington Marriott on Monday. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the annual event. BNews reporter Robert Paris was there and files this report.
The biggest and tastiest event in Burlington came back for another year of food and fun. On Monday, September 11th, the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce held their annual event, Taste of Burlington, at the Burlington Marriott. Host Maureen Spencer and Sarah Kelsey embarked on an ambitious and delicious journey through the Grand Ballroom. This year marks a special occasion for the Taste of Burlington, as it is celebrating its 10th anniversary.
Well, 10 years ago we had an idea that Burlington seemed to have a lot of great restaurants in it, and we wanted to showcase them. They're members of the chamber. We wanted to do a great showcase. That started at Burlington High, where we put out our own tables, and we actually almost had to beg some restaurants because it seemed silly to come into the high school and do it. It was such a great success that little did we know 10 years later it would be the event it is, it would get the kind of attention it does, and then we had great restaurants then, but we have even more now. So it's just such a showcase of the best of the best.
We're very excited about the 10th anniversary Taste of Burlington. I think you see the action in the atmosphere in the room. It's really represented what Burlington has become, a mecca of restaurants, high-tech industry, and it's really one of the pieces that keep all of the businesses coming here. So as you look around the room tonight, you see our partners with the restaurants. You see some of the businesses here being our sponsors, which we can't be thankful enough for, but also it's the residential community that gets to enjoy the same things that the business environment has enjoyed: the restaurants, entertainment, and just about everything there is to offer.
You know, when you come into Burlington and when you step in and see the restaurants here, you literally have the best in the industry, you know, and the chefs are so proud to be able to present it to our members and to present it to the residents tonight, and we couldn't be more proud than to be able to show everybody, you know, what Burlington has to offer.
If you look at where we started out to where we are today, we're much more in line with what's happening in Burlington. This is the buzz, this is where the businesses want to be, it's where the restaurants want to be, it's where the families want to be. So we've really got it all happening. We're proud to celebrate it with our 10th anniversary.
There were many sponsors that helped out put on this event, and one of the main sponsors of the evening was Herb Chambers of Burlington.
I think we think it's really important to be an active and engaged part of the community here. We have a big presence here in Burlington. We have 5 car dealerships here. We employ more than 200 people. It's a great event. We also think it's really important to be a great partner for the Chamber of Commerce, to do such a great job to make it easy for businesses to establish themselves and grow here in the city of Burlington. It's a great thing to do and a great part of the partnership to fulfill. For us, it's fun. I mean, we have some great restaurants in Burlington, and this is going to be a fabulous evening. So they're just a few of the great reasons we're here.
The general manager of the Burlington Marriott was very excited about the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce celebrating their 10 years of delicious eats.
This is the 3rd year that we've hosted it. It's the 10th anniversary, and we have about 25 restaurants here, local restaurants, serving their cuisines. The managers are here. It's become an event where everybody kind of knows everybody in the industry anyway. So it's friends getting together and all having a good time tonight, and also showing their wares to everybody who comes here.
A large amount of restaurants participated in this year's Taste of Burlington, and our host had a chance to speak with them.
I'm here at Besito, where I'm promised that I'm going to feel like I'm in Mexico when we're dining there. Can you tell us a little bit more about your restaurant?
Well, we want every single person that comes in here to feel like they're on a resort. We want you to come in here as if you're sitting on the beach chair, sipping margaritas and enjoying our wonderful food. We make every single, from 6 o'clock in the morning, there's at least about 10 people in that kitchen making 24 different salsas every single day from scratch, with nothing but fresh, organic produce that we pride ourselves on, to make sure that every single thing tastes enough good so that when you come through those doors, you just forget about everything. Forget about work, forget about any schoolwork that you had to do. You just come in and enjoy, sip on one of our margaritas, and have a wonderful time, man.
All right, I'm here with the GM from the Capitol Grill in Burlington. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So I understand we have Chef Tommy preparing something over here. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we have our executive chef, Thomas Patrick. We have our sous chef, Oscar. And what they're doing tonight is we're cooking our mini filet mignon sandwiches that we do on our lunch menu or our menu at night. And then we're doing our famous lobster macaroni and cheese. So just an incredible menu that they're putting on tonight.
From the Burlington Marriott, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Speaking of restaurants, visitors to Tuscan Kitchen will soon have a new place to sit in a relaxed environment and enjoy a drink. The management of the restaurant was before the Board of Selectmen on Monday for an alteration of premises application to transform an area of the restaurant from a market into a lounge-like area with less formal dining options. Attorney Mark Vaughn of Reamer & Braunstein spoke for the application. He explained that when the plans for the restaurant were first drawn up, the front section of the building was designed as a Tuscan market that would serve sandwiches and have a variety of food products such as breads and cheeses for sale. Now the owners are looking to change that slightly and create an Italian-style coffee bar. As part of that plan, they were seeking to have an additional 30 seats and have the right of alcohol service in those seats. Most alcohol will have to be brought from the same bar as the rest of the restaurant, but there are also plans for some coffee drinks to be prepared in that section. The Board of Selectmen approved the change with conditions that no more than 30 seats are added and that signs are put up to keep people from carrying alcoholic beverages into parts of the building not designated for alcohol consumption. They are required that the restaurant's full menu be served in the coffee bar, a condition already in the restaurant's plans. Anyone interested in learning more about policing and being a police officer now has a chance. Police Chief Michael Kent announced that the Burlington Police Department will host its Citizens Police Academy this fall, offering residents an in-depth look at what it's like to be a police officer. The classes will be held on Wednesday night starting October 8th and continuing through December 6th. They will be held at the Burlington Police Department. The Academy is a 10-session in-person classroom training that is free for Burlington residents and anyone who works in town. Participants must be 18 or older. Those 16 and older can attend if they are accompanied by a parent or guardian. Students at the Academy will learn about numerous elements of police work, including Massachusetts criminal laws and criminal procedure, firearms and defense tactics, special weapons and tactics, SWAT, crime prevention, terrorism and emergency preparedness, domestic violence, police patrol procedures, police technology, canine demonstrations. The Academy participants will also have the option to accompany an officer on a ride-along or observe the department's dispatchers as they work. Chief Kent said the Academy is a fantastic way for the members of the community to develop a deeper understanding of the work that officers do each day. You can find a link to sign up for the Academy on our website at www.bcattv.org/bnews. In a time when the country seems to be more polarized than ever in recent memory, one group of Burlington residents is working to ensure everyone feels welcome in the community. BNews Director Rich Hosford has this look.
3 languages, 1 message. While driving around, you may have noticed these signs written out in 3 different languages carrying a message of welcome and inclusivity. If you haven't seen them yet, there is a group at work in town that is trying to fix that by spreading more of them about. I wanted to find out more about the project and so went to speak with one of the organizers of the effort.
We started a group, as a group of women from Burlington, as a result of the Women's March back in January, who wanted to make a statement and wanted to resist some of the very negative moves that have happened in our country. And at that time, we became aware of a group of Mennonites that were creating these signs that were saying that all people who are here in America are welcome. And at that time, we made the decision to move forward with ordering some signs, and they arrived. And they arrived a week ago on the day, coincidentally, when the president made the announcement that DACA was going to be discontinued.
The message behind the signs is simple.
The message is that you're welcome, that we are a community and a country of people who have all come from other places, and that we are people who celebrate diversity and celebrate each person's gift, which makes this country a great place.
In the first week since the signs arrived, a fair number of people have jumped at the chance to buy one and display it in their yards.
Yes, we've had 20 people that have come forward and asked to have a sign, and I'm anticipating we'll have many more.
Wendy said she has more signs available for anyone who wants one. All they have to do is call.
Yes, give me a call, 781-552-5195. I have quite a few that I'm very happy to get to you. We purchased them, and they are $10 a piece, which is our exact cost, and I'd love to see them pop up all over Burlington.
Finally, Wendy said the group, and others like it in town, will continue to work and raise awareness of issues they believe are important.
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody, but I can say that the group of women that I'm aware of are passionate. We're passionate that these are issues we can't stay silent on, and that silence is part of what brings the darkness. And we are going to be points of light, and we're going to have these signs as symbols that we want to live in the light. We believe in the light, and that's the position we're going to take.
I'm Rich Hosford for BNEWS Weekly.
In a note of clarification, DACA has not been ended. The president has offered Congress the opportunity to write it into law instead of by executive action. Immigration law is under the purview of Congress, not the presidency. The nonprofit charity organization People Helping People has a busy time ahead of it. People Helping People Board of Director members Janet Fitzgerald and Judy Walsh were at Monday night's Board of Selectmen meeting to give an update on their holiday season plans. They first explained that the group is organizing, or is the organization behind the Burlington Food Pantry, of course. The Thanksgiving Meal Program and the Wish Tree are part of their programs. Those are to support families in need. To raise funds for all its work, the organization has some upcoming fundraising drives and events. The first is an upcoming Atria Longmeadow Place 5th Annual Chowder Fest on Wednesday, September 27. The Chowder Fest is free to attend, but People Helping People ask that everyone bring a donation for the Burlington Food Pantry. The pantry is in need of vegetable oil, ready-to-eat soups, pancake syrup, 2-pound boxes of granulated sugar, ketchup, mustard, mayo, dish soap, bars of soap, shampoo, toothpaste, and disposable razors. At that event, People Helping People also plans to show off their new logo and announce their new website. One feature of that website will be to allow people to sign up for the Wish Tree and adopt area children and purchase items for their holiday festivities. Fitzgerald said this was important because they had seen more children sign up in the past few years, just as participation from donors at the mall dwindled as more people shop online. Other upcoming fundraisers for People Helping People include the Pumpkin Patch at St. Mark's Church and the Capitol Grill raffle. BCAT will have the details on those as they become available. In a continued effort to keep the roads safe, the Mass State Police will once again be on the lookout for intoxicated drivers this weekend. According to the State Police, they will hold a sobriety checkpoint somewhere in Middlesex County on Friday, September 15 and Saturday, September 16. Superintendent of the Mass State Police, Colonel Richard D. McKeon, said the purpose is to further educate the motoring public and strengthen the public's awareness in the need of detecting and removing those motorists who operate under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs from our roadways. Colonel McKeon added that the checkpoint will be operated during varied hours. The selection of vehicles will not be arbitrary. Safety will be assured and any inconveniences to the motorists will be minimized with advance notice to reduce fear and anxiety. We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center for this week's forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. And if you can believe it, here we are in the middle of September, and we have certainly had a very, very busy weather time the past 2 weeks, that's for sure, after seeing all of the destruction that Hurricanes Harvey and Irma have done. It's really been something incredible, that's for sure. This has been a September that we will be remembering for a long time. But as we start out our period here in the Burlington area, look at this. We're going to see really nice temperatures here for the middle of September. Temperatures above average in the mid-70s, so really nice and very pleasant for sleeping weather too, down into the 50s again. And of course, as you notice as we get towards here, look at this, the end of our period, September 21st. It's really amazing how quickly time is going along here. We're going to see temperatures, should be around 70 still by that time of the year, and this will actually be the last official day of summer, September 21st. So get out there, folks, and enjoy all of that great summer warmth that's still out there, that's for sure. And of course, the one downside to all of the nice weather, though, at this time of the year is look at how short the days are getting. We're almost to the point where we're having 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of dark. So that's definitely a sign of the times ahead. But as we go ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit of what's going to be going on with our weather for the next 7 days. And we actually have a fairly nice pattern that we're expecting going into the weekend. Now, we're going to be watching, if you see this low that I have highlighted out here, this is representing what could be Hurricane Jose. Now, this could potentially get a little bit closer to us than what I'm showing here on this map right here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that getting into the Tuesday and Wednesday time frame. We could see some heavier rain and maybe some gusty winds from this, but definitely won't be anything like Hurricanes Harvey or Irma were, that's for sure. Other than that, though, we're going to be dominated by a high pressure center over eastern Canada, and that's going to bring us some easterly and northeasterly winds in here. That's going to keep us a little bit cooler if you're at the coastline, but if you're out here inland in the Burlington area, we're going to see some beautiful weather. So once we get by Monday and Tuesday, we should have some nice weather really on either end of the period coming up. Now, as we go ahead again, I'm going to show you a graphic about Hurricane Jose that's coming up, and this might be something that could be, again, causing us a little bit of concern here in the Burlington area and all of southern New England for that fact, as we get into the really Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday time frame. But as you can see here, Jose is kind of spinning, kind of without any direction going into next week. So it's going to be very difficult predicting where this forecast is going to be taking this storm, that's for certain. and that might be bringing it up the East Coast and towards us again as we get towards the middle of the period. But nothing to really worry about right now, really just primarily maybe some showers and a little bit of wind. As we go ahead, I'm going to show you what our weather's going to be looking like for the next 7 days. As we go ahead, as we can see here, starting out our period Friday and Saturday, we might see the chance of maybe a few spotty showers. A little bit humid. Temperatures, though, again, look at this, still in the mid and upper 70s. Pretty nice for the middle of September. Now on here, we're showing really only a little bit of cloud cover getting in from Sunday and through the rest of the week. Now, Monday and Tuesday, again, this might be an area where we're going to have to be keeping an eye on the tropics with Jose. Again, we'll be keeping you updated on that. As you watch all of your local news media outlets, they'll have plenty of information on that coming up. But look at this, temperatures staying above average in the mid-70s again, all the way as we get into the end of the week. We may actually see a significant warm-up by the time we get to Thursday. We could see temperatures getting maybe close to 80 again. So, folks, summer may be coming to an end on the calendar, but it definitely isn't in terms of weather. So get out there, enjoy the rest of summer, and have a great week.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your Community Calendar. Let's look back at music that changed history. On Thursday, September 21st at 7 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having Kevin Comtois come talk about 3 of the greatest protest singers of the 20th century. In his presentation, The Music and Politics of Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, and Bob Dylan. Each of the musicians provided a social and economic condition of America as they evolved from the Great Depression to World War II, McCarthyism, the Civil Rights Movement, and the 1950s folk revival, and then to the social and political conditions of the 1960s. Everyone is welcome. The event is free. For more information, visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. Are you interested in playing the piano? On Monday, September 25th, from 7 to 9:15 p.m., the Burlington Rec Department will be having a piano night for anyone who would like to learn piano. In the class, you will be learning notes on a piano and you will play a popular melody by ear and by reading note names. You will also learn 4 simple chords to combine with the melody. The class is $35 a person. The class will be held at the True North Coffee House. The event is for ages 16 and up. For more information, visit burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. Looking for a local getaway? On Saturday, September 30th, the Burlington Rec Department will be having a day trip to the Hobo Railroad Turkey Train. Enjoy a traditional turkey dinner aboard the Hobo Railroad, catered by renowned Hart's Turkey Farm. Your round-trip fall foliage dinner departs Meredith Station and travels south along the western shore of Lake Winnipesaukee through the village of Weir's Beach and along Paugus Bay toward Lakeport, New Hampshire. Everyone is welcome. The cost of the trip is $109 per person. For more information and to register, visit burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your Community Calendar.
The fall sports season has arrived for the Burlington Red Devils, and the teams are already battling hard for wins. We go now to BNEWS sports reporter Matt DiMarzio for the first sports report of the season.
Hey everyone, this is Matt DiMarzio here, and I want to welcome you all back to the start of the sports season. The fall sports season is underway at Burlington High, and there's plenty of optimism and enthusiasm flowing around the hallways. The girls' soccer team is off and running and beat non-league opponent Somerville early in the season. The girls are 1-3 overall and lost to Wakefield on Thursday by a 3-1 score, but controlled much of the game and easily could have beat the Warriors. The Devils should only improve as the season progresses. The boys' soccer team split its first 2 games, falling to Belmont by bouncing back to beat Woburn. Now on the football field, new coach Dan McKay and his staff are looking forward to some good things, but a few tough lessons along the way are okay too. On Friday night, Billerica, where McKay was a standout football player, handed the Red Devils a 33-0 shellacking. But McKay and his troops will be back at it on Friday night at home against Woburn, starting at 7 o'clock. Next week, We'll have reports on all the Red Devil squads as the fall season switches into high gear. That's all for sports. I'm Matt DiMarzio, and back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo shows a miniaturized version of a Russian-style cupola. A cupola is a small dome on a drum on top of a larger dome, adorning a roof or ceiling. This model was created by Burlington resident John Lyons, who has been making them for over a decade. He also likes to build birdhouses and Chinese ornaments. This photo was sent in by Greg Smith, Burlington class of 1968, who was good friends with John. Thanks for the photo, Greg. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share with the rest of the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Also, don't forget to sign up for our daily newsletter. You can find that at the website as well. Finally, this week we end on a programming note. We are excited to announce a new BCAT BNEWS magazine-style show called BNEWS In Depth. Each month we'll be looking at one issue facing the town in greater depth. For the first episode on air starting today, we look at the proposed ban on the retail sale of recreational marijuana in town. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford will be hosting the show, and he spoke at length to 2 people in favor of the ban and 2 people against. Look for it on your local BCAT public channel or find it on our website at www.bcattv.org. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hosford, Chris Flaherty, Robert Parrish, Peter Brown, Maddie Shipka, and Matt DiMarzio. Thank you for joining us.